Stephen Rowe and Chris McDermott.
And a good afternoon. Welcome to the 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Bone with you until 7. Both our clubs lost. Crows in 5 minutes of ordinary footy late in the game. Important 15 minutes of poor footy in the second quarter. We'll get to that. Look, it's a big show. Port's Matt Loby. We've got Crows gun Tom Lynch. Port's President David Koch has rung in, wants to have a chat. There's Robbie Walls, but most importantly, your calls, 8223 0000. Got a $100 voucher to give away to the Gawler River Cattle Company, so 8223 0000. If you want that, get on the blower.
Fair to say, Stephen, you're not happy with the umpires. The umpiring review, stinky.
I'm going to get to that, but let's talk about the game. I will get to it. Didn't cost the Crows the game, but certainly didn't help. Bone, the Crows just made critical skill errors at crucial times. We heard Sando say that after the game. Their defensive structures broke down, again at crucial times. A rotation down. I know I'm using an excuse here. They just ran out of steam, but it was a disappointing loss to swallow. They lost the unlosable.
Well, it wasn't the unlosable, but it was, it was the next best. I mean, 3 up with 6 minutes to play. You know what? They just never convincing. They were okay, but just never convinced you. And then the moment you thought they're safe, they've got this one, they just fell apart. And the big goal from, Josh Kennedy, I tell you what, is in the elite in the game now at centre half forward. To pick up the ball at pace on the left foot in the dying minutes of a hard slog and kick it 50 metres straight through the middle. That was as good as you'll see.
Shouldn't have got there. Again, 1 or 2 middies get off the leash. Pritis Emily Maston had 34 possessions between them in the last quarter. 34. Embley had 8 in the last 5 minutes with a goal.
Yeah, his legs were really important. The other two midfielders who had 39 and 33 between them. I think that's something that you've been going on about for a large part of this year, is that there's one midfielder that gets, when he gets off the hook, he really does. It's 35 plus, it's multiple goals, it's a match-winning influence. And the Crows' defensive action, there are a lot of things you can pick apart of their game at the moment. Their forward line is in disarray. They just can't buy a mark in attack. They can't find multiple goal scorers in consecutive weeks in attack. Their defence is a bit leaky. And their midfield's not that good either. So they've got problems right around the park. I feel like it's the end of the road. I know they've got a big game Friday night. It feels like the end of the road.
That's the big question. We're going to get Sando on now after the game on the top 8, Bone. So is this curtains for the Crows top 8, or you're still holding hope? As we said, here's Sando after the game on the top 8.
We're going to find it really difficult from here, but we certainly won't be changing anything with the way that we approach any game. We'll just keep fighting as hard as we possibly can. We'll keep learning trying to learn from our mistakes in games. We'll keep reviewing each match as best we can, and I feel really disappointed for the team and the club because it feels like we shouldn't have lost that game, but we did.
1-999-1395. Crows fans are straight into it. Ask Sando if the Baltimore Ravens have choked against the West Coast. That's chips. They're all having a crack. But I want to talk about this. Everyone's pussyfooting around the umpires and the decisions and the standard of umpiring across the board this weekend. Now, again, please, Crows fans, it didn't cost you the game, but it certainly didn't help. So what I did, I got into work today and I went through their goals, all of West Coast goals. They kicked 9. 4 of them were umpiring decisions that 3 of them, the AFL today, have said they got wrong. I'll go through it.
Got wrong?
The second goal of the game, West Coast kicked. Jacob Sport Kennedy, free kick goal, was a bad decision. At best a 50-50. They haven't admitted that one's wrong. The third goal of the game was Mark Lecrae. He got a free kick because Laird was called for a throw. He handballed it. Clearly got it wrong. Have a look at the tape. The AFL had admitted he handballed it. The umpire guessed. That is one stinky decision. And I said stinky after the game. There's one. The 8th goal of the game, McGinnity faked a head-eye tackle. A disgraceful decision. Again, the umpire guessed. He faked it. Crouch was a perfect tackle. Again, the AFL have said they got it wrong. And then the last one, which is the contentious one, Pritis drags the ball in under Paul Pleasure. Paul Pleasure gets pinged for holding the ball, goes down the other end. Kennedy's brilliance ices the game. 4 goals from 9 were bad umpiring decisions. End of story.
Yeah.
Don't defend them, Bone.
Well, no,
the AFL have said 3 of them they got wrong.
Well,
didn't lose them the game, but it didn't help.
What'd they lose, boy?
6 points.
Yeah, okay. Well, I bet the West Coast are coming out.
Don't pussyfoot around. No. Everyone's scared of the AFL because we'll get a letter or an email and all of this. The umpiring was poor. And number 3 with no hair was poor. And of those 4, he named 3 of them. Poor.
Well, you say poor, I say maybe not so. And I say the Crows were poor. I said their execution was poor.
Should have lost it. 13 points up with 6 minutes to go. They get the last 3 shots at goal. Poor defence, poor running, poor everything. Crows cost them themselves, but that didn't bloody help.
8223 have your say. Are you with Rowey? Did the umpires butcher it for the Crows on Saturday night, or were the Crows just not up to speed? Brendan Sanderson in his quote then was fascinating. He said he wouldn't change anything and won't change anything in their preparation. I mean, is that not a problem that he won't change? Well, sometimes showing faith and putting faith in your team is good. I'm confused with their forward line. I don't like the look of their forward line, and I think that does need change.
Well, if they had Walker, we wouldn't be talking about it. That's just bad luck.
They don't have Walker. Change your forward line. I mean, face facts. You don't have Walker.
So who are you going to drop?
Well, you've got
Jenkins. You've been singing his praises all year.
He needs a rest.
Rest
he needs a rest. But I'm saying the mix is not. It's not right. It is not right. So fix it. Change it. Don't be afraid to change it if it's not right.
One game he had 14 different players rotate through there. On the weekend he had 11. The keys aren't standing up. Jenkins can't catch the ball to save his life. We got Tom Lynch on. You can ask him that exact question. 8223 Port Adelaide, well, look, they got blown away early in the second quarter to trail by 25 points at half time. Finished again like a rocket, kicked 3-9 in the last quarter. Look, Bone could have stole it. Again, they never gave up. And again, they ran over top of the opposition. The pleasing thing for them, they are still a game of percentage clear in 8th spot. And they went toe-to-toe with, I'm saying, a very, very, very good footy club.
Yeah, match review day, when they go and sit in front of the video and watch it, you know what? They will kick themselves. They will absolutely kick themselves for 15 minutes of horrendous footy, for 15 minutes when they just went bye-bye, for 15 minutes when they weren't spotted, sighted, were uncompetitive, that proved really costly in the end. Angus Monfries in the last quarter had a chance to put them, within a point.
Did the same against Carlton.
And what were you thinking? What were you thinking?
Yeah.
What was he playing on? What was he doing? So some mistakes at the end, but the second quarter, Ken Hinkley will review that and go hard on that one, because that was not the Port Adelaide way that we've become accustomed to this year. They were really poor. Let the Bombers in. The Bombers had no Watson and Stanton on one leg, still found a way to win. So they had some good moments. Port had some bad ones.
So again, Port, one game of percentage in the 8. Have your say on your game, 8223 And AFL fans, over the weekend of footy, what frustrated you more? The goal review, the holding the ball interpretation, that crept in. They got that wrong again this weekend. Or was it your team's form? One, I want to say...
Was it Harry O'Brien?
Well, you want to get to Harry O now?
No, I just thought I'd just throw that one in for our callers to say if that frustrated them, that Harry could walk out in the team and go up to swan around in Queensland while his team battled it out for a game that they had to win, and then doesn't turn up for training on Monday.
Well, for people that don't know the Harry O'Brien story, the best that we know, and Bone, you can fill in the gaps here. Collingwood's Harry O'Brien, in a team meeting, brought up a debate on gay marriage.
Yep.
On the back of one of his teammates has got a nickname that's a little bit gay connotations.
Yeah,
and we think it's side bottom, so
Yep.
you can guess what
Correct.
the nickname may very well be.
Fill in the dots.
Okay. Now, there was an exchange that Coach Nathan Buckley may have not have been sensitive enough in the debate. Harry O walks out. He holidays in Port Douglas. Oh, the good thing is he won't play this week, so that's a positive. But please, please, sensitive. Does he need to hate you?
Maybe taking it again. You open the door and all of a sudden
Harry.
you have problems like this. And this could derail Collingwood. For moments on Friday night against Carlton, you thought it had, and then they got themselves back into
If
gear
he
again.
doesn't come back, it could derail them for Friday.
Absolutely. So watch this one. This hasn't played out fully yet either. So Harry Bryan and Collingwood at loggerheads.
And just the last one, we need to change the rule for the interchange infringement immediately before it costs somebody a final. Now, if you're 1 millimetre over the line or walk outside the gates or sneeze the wrong way, it is a free kick. Those that don't know, it is a free kick immediately and 50-metre penalty. Now, Geelong's Josh Hunt entered the field one step before he should have, and I say whoopsie-doo to that. 50-metre penalty. Hawks Hale, goals 30 out directly
Got
in
it
front.
wrong.
Do you know what? They've got to put a line through that right now. Now, we hear a lot about Mark Evans, who's replaced Adrian Anderson. Mark, today, now, a texter. Not a HB pencil, a texter, and get rid of that rule. It is a joke.
Having a bad day today, Mark. He's got a couple of things on his plate today. He's got a full house, and he's having a very bad day. Rowey, I know you want to go to a break, but of course the match review findings, the match review panel has met. Findings are out for the weekend's matches, and mixed news. Now, we know Shawnee McKernan from the Crows was charged with a level 4 striking offence. 325 demerit points he copped. So, in summary, he can accept a 2-match ban. So he's got a 3-match ban. He can accept a 2-match ban with an early guilty plea. I think most of us would say, Sean, That's nearly a win. Take it and get away.
Reckless, high and high contact.
Yep.
2 points, 2 games. I like the intent. You know what? He was playing for his career on the weekend. I thought he was good.
And now he's just blown it.
Now he's blown it and may not get another contract.
Correct. No, I thought
It was dumb, but I liked it. I liked the fact that he got angry. He would be the last bloke on the Crows list that you would have thought would lift his elbow and whack someone, and the last bloke on Port's list you would have thought would do it was Justin Westhoff. Now, what did he get?
He's got a 5-year good record. Did you know that with Justin? I think a lot of us thought he didn't have a good record, but he does. He can accept a 1-match ban with an early guilty plea. Cop 225 demerit points, which is a 2-match suspension. Get in early, get out with 1. So I reckon both should jump at them, take them, move on very quickly. Sean McKernan's going to be interesting though, Rowey. I just wonder what it means down the track because it's a big loss. It was silly. I know we want him to be tough. Be tough legally. Don't be tough illegally because that's not tough. That's just plain dumb
I know
and that's
it's
costly.
not, but I like the intent. The fact that you saw he started the game. Great mark, kicked a goal, back in the middle, tackled a bloke, saw a fella, lifted the elbow, whoopsie-doo,
No.
didn't knock him out.
No.
Dumb. It was dumb.
Stephen,
It was dumb. It was dumb.
you're endorsing
But I
it.
liked it. 8
You're
2 2
endorsing
3
it.
0 0 0.